this is Max Chafkin with Inc. Magazine. I'm reporting today from what I've been calling the Inc. Video Conferencing Center, which also happens to be my apartment. If you've been following on the blog for the last few weeks, you'll know that Inc. is in the middle of an experiment where we've decided to ditch our office and work remotely. And we've sort of been getting some advice, sort of tips, talking to entrepreneurs. And today I have Matt Mullenweg, the founder of Automatic, calling from his San Francisco not office. Hey, Matt.
Howdy.
So Matt, for people who don't know the way the company is organized, tell us where you are and why it's not an office.
Sure. So I am in, I guess what you would call the closest thing we have to an office, at Pier 38 in San Francisco, California. It's set up actually more like a lounge. In fact, we probably get the most use out of this space when we have parties and stuff. I guess I can show you a little bit. We got desks, some couches. I don't know if you can see in the back there, there's actually a bar, fully stocked sometimes. and and basically what you don't see is like computers or monitors or anything like that. Everyone who comes in just brings their laptop, and when they're done, they take it with them. So this is what's on a pier. So it's kind of a very open, exposed space, but we don't have to worry about things getting stolen or anything.
And how did you guys end up structuring the company this way? Because it's such a sort of, for a lot of traditional companies, it probably just seems kind of weird.
Well, part of it's that we're at 50 some odd people worldwide, but only I think 6 or 7 of us are in the San Francisco area. So we kind of wanted a space that could scale up when we're all in the same place, when we all come to San Francisco, but was still comfortable for just us hanging out. And we could, I mean, honestly, the party and event thing was definitely a consideration, because we can run WordPress events here, we can host events for other folks or nonprofits or things, and I feel like it's good exposure for us. It's good to have something, a physical route, even though we're a distributed company.
Yeah. Now, one of the great things about this model, and you just alluded to it, is the ability to kind of hire people from anywhere. How does that work? I mean, are there language barriers? Do the time zones get in the way? I mean, it seems so different and unusual, and I'm curious how you guys manage to kind of maintain a coherent culture.
I would say that everyone at Automatic is fluent in written English at the very least, and everyone speaks it pretty well. So there's not too much language barriers. There's definitely no communication barriers. Mostly as a mechanism of just whatever medium we're communicating in. If it's purely text-based, like our P2 blogs or Skype or IRC, there's something lost on that versus like what we're doing now with a video or voice chat. So I would say that communication problems are mostly, I don't think of them as problems as much as just things to be aware of. Whatever medium you're communicating in has its strengths and weaknesses.
So we at Inc. are, as I've been telling you, trying this out, and but we're a very different kind of company than Automatic, and we make these physical objects, and I'm curious, how exportable you think the model that you guys have is. I mean, do you think that it's something that other companies, maybe other companies in your industry or other companies in other industries, can kind of experiment and try? And I mean, do you think it'll be a less weird sounding thing, in 20 years?
I think it's hard for existing companies to switch to this. I mean, what you're doing is kind of weird in a lot of ways. I think it's kind of the default for a lot of new companies. It's almost not even something they think about too much. It's just one founder's in Boston, one's in New York, one's in San Francisco. It doesn't really hinder them working together at all. I mean, there's no problems with that, even if they are making physical things. Between drop shipping and you can do, there's really no reason to be tied to any locality. And to me, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's one of the most freeing aspects, because you can still do the work that you love, but not be tied to any one location for any reason.
Yeah, well, it sounds great. We're getting there. Matt, thank you so much for the time, and this has been great. This is Max Chafkin with Inc. Magazine, reporting from Inc.'s virtual experiment and in my home. See you soon.